Broadcast live.
What is let me pry into your WhatsApp, you know. What are the conversations, because you hate groups, what are the conversations, an example of a gossip conversation between the two, the three of you with Cosmo there in the background. We're the best.
I don't know, obviously lots of screen grabs.
Yeah, I've seen them screen grabs.
Lots of like laughing faces. Lots of like eyes rolling. And also just generally like planning, because we're planning a lot of stuff. So just like, yeah, more planning than anything. But we're like, we are like all girls. We are very, very spicy.
In the group, they say that you're the nice one, right?
Yes.
Cosmo's the one that's constantly got her eyes rolling. She's literally in this position all day, you know. Rouge is almost like the one that literally never answers your phone. Her phone, basically, you know.
Rouge is like the super smart one. Like she's the super driven, super like, okay. Cosmo's also the same, but Cosmo is she's a lot more like, she doesn't feel the need to ask you. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm more like, okay guys, let's wait. Let's see what's gonna happen. Rouge is like, we'll walk in, she'll assess, and then she'll make a decision. Cosmo's just like, we're getting alike, you know?
Yeah.
But we all complement each other. When I need to be the one, they'll fill in those parts. When they need a little bit of me, like we balance each other out in a really, really dope way.
Ah, okay, cool. So like, Rouge is assertive. Cosmo literally is agana timing, and you almost like the one that makes things soft. You create the soft landing, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
That's dope.
Definitely.
That's dope. All right, well, we're gonna get someone to pry on those phones and get in this you know. Ain't Playing featuring the Liz.
I ain't playing with
Drippin', so be cautious. Drippin' like an ocean. Drippin' gon' need me a boat, ayy. Drippin' like I'm Lil Bo, ayy. Drippin' on my swagger gold. Swagger killer, call that motor she wrote. Get it custom, I get it on a plane. Y'all look the same, all your bitches is lame, ayy.
Your relationship with Liz, aka The Works, you know, like, has been, you guys are like family.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what keeps that relationship going, just generally?
I think generally just good vibes. You know, Les is very big on seeing other people shine. You know, a lot of people they like to see you from far. If you're doing well, Les wants you to like be around him. Like he really feeds off positive energy, and him and Spuro are obviously very, very good friends. And through my relationship with Les, I met Double D, who mixed and mastered this album, and I finished the album here in the studio. So him and I, it's more work, but it's always just about positivity and good energy, and he always makes sure I am good first. You know, a lot of people don't take the time to just make sure that like I'm actually okay in situations. Like he always makes sure that I'm good. He always reaches out and tells me like, yo, I just saw this, congratulations, this is so dope, well done, keep shining, keep doing your thing. And he's also just a lesson on longevity and like constantly transforming yourself. I think I've definitely taken a page out of his book. Like if you look, this is like 6 years later. Like if we really look at a picture of Moozlie 6 years ago. Thank you.
God,
shout out to
powerful.
Osmalema. Amazing. Yeah. If you were to look at a picture from Moozlie 6 years ago, it's definitely not as epic as that is. And I think it's the same with the Les. Like he's always just taught me that thing. And you know, he's a really, really dope guy.
For me, I think you're a powerful lady doing your thing. Especially doing an album is not child's play. The focus that needs that. But there are a lot of people in your life, you know, and we've talked about the girls, you know, that are in your life who have, it's almost like you get into the so-called man's industry, and then it's like, so who do I become myself around, you know? Then you meet the girls, you know. But like in your life though, you know, you've always had like men that have supported you in a way. If we had to pull out like if everyone was it, and including even the girls also that you hang with, if you had to pull out like different qualities everyone has actually contributed in your career, who would be linked to what quality?
I think Rouge has definitely been a lesson on, it's not necessarily a word, but just don't be afraid to remove yourself to build yourself and come back stronger. You know, I think I knew about her long before her album came out and what the album did. So she really taught me just how important the music is. Keenan is a lesson on like just impeccability, just be amazing, like the highest level of excellence. Les is definitely a lesson on like good energy and just how having a good heart will sustain you for a very long time. My E is just a lesson on how important it is to constantly humble yourself and not think that you are bigger than any situation that you may find yourself in. Muggs is a lesson on just being yourself in a hard game, you know. He doesn't change for anybody, you know, and he's so consistent. He's so consistent in himself, and he's like really taught me that. Cosmo has taught me to be serious about my business, but just enjoy my life. You know, she enjoys her life. She lives a good life. Like she enjoys her life. Gemini is just a lesson on vibes, just like energy and vibes. Sometimes he can be a little bit ADD, but it's okay. Just good energy and good vibes. But yeah, different people teach me different things. I think even you teach me the importance of the work that I'm doing and how where I am right now may not be what I'm really actually supposed to do. It might be bigger and better than what I initially thought it is, and how important it is for me to be consistent with it, even if I don't feel like it. Like it means something to somebody else, you know? So everybody is a lesson on different things. Smuda has always just like blown my mind. Like he's always just made me look at myself like times 10. Because when I first met him, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper. And then he was like, oh, okay, shit, that's dope. Have you ever thought about, and then this? And I was just like,
what the fuck?
Damn, that is crazy. I never actually thought about that. Let's do that, you know? So a lot of different people teach me different things. My family is just like, all of them are just a lesson in like being real. Like my dad calls me and reminds me to like, your license, my baby, your license. Like you need to renew your license. Like he just always reminds me that like, hey, you're a real person at the end of the day. Don't think you're just like this crazy person. So lots of different people teach me different things. Mav, my photographer, teaches me that I'm awesome. Because he just thinks everything is so awesome. Like Mav thinks everything is awesome. So he just reminds me that like, damn, I am awesome. Like I'm doing awesome things in life.
I think you listen a lot.
I do.
And I think you also like good at seeing when you're listening is not actually paying off, when it's putting you in a pace of no.
Yeah, I'm very good. I wouldn't say I'm very good.
Because you're such a professional listener.
Yeah.
Whenever like things start like you start going.
Yeah.
What I was listening to doesn't feel the same way when I was listening, you know?
Yeah, and I think when you listen, you can feel it as well. So I think a lot of people don't have that thing. And for me, I don't allow what other people think to really determine what I do and the moves that I make. And I'm so blessed to have surrounded myself with people that if I do start to do that, they remind me. They say, that's not who you are. That's not what you do, you know? So yeah, I'm in a... I wouldn't say I'm in the most perfect place because nobody's ever perfect. You're never really fully satisfied. But I'm like in a very good, aligned place. Like things are starting to come together. Things are I really do believe that things are working for my good. Even the bad things, they always work for my good.
And that sounds like victory.
Indeed.
Congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
I know we're gonna get into swipe.
Yeah. I don't check the price. I just swipe. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Yes, I like my Gucci, my cologne. Flyer than a drone. Money on the phone. Drip.
I mean, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I thought the whole song would be turned up. The verses kind of went a bit rappy and like crazy, and the flows kind of went wild there, but that just happened. That's one of those situations where God takes over.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you had plans for this song.
But yes, this was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great album. that we talked about victory in the beginning, and victory is the closing, the victory anthem.
VICTORY. Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm going through a really hard time, yeah, and it don't feel like nothing's going right. I swear the harder I try, the harder I fall. I'm risking it all, I got my back on the wall. It feels like a matter of
One thing I said about you, because it was the last song, I said, when you talk your truth, you're perfect. You're like an artist on, you are a bar, you're an artist on your own, that you just create your own bar when you talk your truth. And that's the beauty of this album. You take us on your journey. If people stop and forget who you are, you actually take a journey with you. And I think Victory literally, really like the closing song does sum that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want you to talk about it though, and wrap it up, because this is a very good album.
Thank you.
It's a very good album.
Yeah, I believe it is too. I'm very, very proud of it. Like, I definitely wouldn't have put it out if it wasn't good, but it turned out so much better than I think I could have ever imagined it. And I'm extremely proud of it. And I think that's why the last song is necessary, because it's so important for me to not take credit for the dopeness that is this album. Like, God really did come through for me. There were so many times where I was sitting in church and I just was just like, you know, when you start feeling like, am I really going to be that person screaming, I receive forever? When am I going to receive? When am I going to receive? And now I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm already thinking about the next thing that needs to be done. But it's just like, for me to be sitting here with such an incredible body of work, it's so important. And I think there were those moments where I was just like even crying. I was like, Spooner, this is too hard. This is too much. And he was just like, you better use that pain and do something with it, because honestly, ain't nobody got time for these tears, girl. This is the easiest it's gonna get. Like, it's still gonna get harder. And then I think literally that's what I wrote. Like, I'm going through a really hard time and it doesn't feel like anything's going right. The harder I try, the harder I fall. I'm risking it all, and it's just, I'm just like, I'm putting myself out there in such a crazy way. Like, when is it finally gonna come back to me? And then
I feel that
there's the switch up where it goes like, maybe I should just believe, because that's just the devil at play. Don't believe a word he says. He's just trying to break you before you break through. Never let him play you. All you really got to do is say VICTORY. With no wings you'll learn to fly. And it's always like that. Like, right before the good part of your life, right before things really start to make sense, right before the hard work pays off, is when you will doubt yourself the most. And it's not you that's speaking. It's somebody who knows what's coming. There's an evil force in the world that knows the goodness that's on the inside of you, knows what great things are going to come of your life, and they will try to stop you. And you need to not listen to those voices. You constantly need to remind yourself to walk by faith and not by sight. Like, no matter how hard it gets. And it gets hard. Like, it gets really, really difficult. We make it look easy. We make it look like an Osmalemba picture, you know what I mean? But, you know, it takes a lot of work, even for Osmalemba, for him to pull off this thing for me. He had to do it for me. Like, and I'm very aware of the fact that he did it for me, and he really killed it. And yeah, man, life gets hard, things get tricky, but you kind of just have to be positive, and you have to just have faith. Like, you really, really just have to have faith.
I love it.
Thank you.
Like everything else, it's an emotional roller coaster. I love the word you use. You know, albums are albums. You know, the thing about a body of work is that, like, it says it's a body. It says there's a leg, it says their legs, their hands, their feet, their ears, their eyes. And that's what you've created. You've created a thing that's a body. It's a body. You know what I mean? You know, it might be maybe one eye that's like this, because like it's winking most of the times, but it's a body. Yeah. And a lot of people create albums and it's songs. Do you know what I mean? This is a body. It's a body of work, and it carries real emotion, and you know, there are a lot of people that are rapping. A lot of females are rapping. A lot of males are rapping. But I think the lesson that a lot of people need to take from this album, in my opinion, is that it's not about how dope your lyrics are, but it's about how well you tell the story. And you've done that. From the beginning of like you like being emotional, to you being my brr, to you literally like being blanco, you've literally put it together and told an amazing story. And yes, they'll say these are the top 5 rappers, blah, blah, but this is where it counts. This is what people remember at the end of the day. They remember what they sing. They remember the stuff that touches them in their heart. So don't ever worry about that spot of who's the best lyricist, male or female. Always worry about the spot of, are you telling a truth? And are you making music out of it? Exactly what Buddha said. Take that pain and make music out of it.
Yeah.
That's what you did here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
That means so much to me.
It's real.
Thank you so much.
It's real.
Thank you.
Victory is out in stores. Get it on iTunes. Get it on Spotify. Get it on all those platforms that are out there. But by the time the SOL app is live, you'll get it there too.
Yeah!
Just gotta pant.
Yes!
Broadcast live